Welcome, everyone, to the first of 13 straight nights of live streaming on the NoDQ.com YouTube channel. My name is Aaron Rift. I am your host for the next 13 nights, 14 streams total. I'll be pulling double duty on WrestleMania Saturday because we also have NXT and the Hall of Fame to discuss. This was a newsworthy SmackDown. We are now 8 nights away until WrestleMania. A lot to discuss. Let's get right into the recap. Shout out to everybody watching this. Now, if you would like to support the channel, if you enjoy the content, please just spread the word about this video. Tell a friend. Any word of mouth is very helpful. Now, let's get to SmackDown. We opened up with footage of Randy Orton laying out Nick Aldis with the RKO. Aldis was in the ring. He's the general manager. He was instructed to maintain professionalism. He invited Randy Orton to the ring. Orton came out there, thought that Aldis was taking things personally. Orton did bring up how last time he had an incident with Aldis, he paid the fine and then doubled it in case something like last week happened. Orton said they were even and said that this was his 20th anniversary of WrestleMania coming up, or his, I should say, 20th WrestleMania, and he asked Aldis to make him an opponent. Orton even suggested maybe Aldis himself could take off the suit for a night. Aldis had a response for Orton, said that he doesn't need Orton's money from the fines. He just needs Orton's respect. And Orton warned Aldis if he doesn't get the match, he's not going to apologize to Mickie James, who is the wife of Nick Aldis. And at this point, we had an interruption from Solo Sikoa, and I could just hear the groans around the world when Solo came out there. Solo said Randy Orton is in the past. Orton invited them. You had Solo and Tama Tonga. Orton invited them into the ring. We had a 2-on-1 attack. LA Knight then ran down, made the save. LA Knight got on the mic and proposed a tag team match to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis did accept the match. And that was set up as the main event of SmackDown. We'll talk more about all this with Randy Orton in just a little bit. Opening segment was fine. You set up the main event. I am a little bit perplexed about what's going to happen with Randy Orton, but we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. We had our women's gauntlet match. I'm not the biggest fan of gauntlet matches. I just don't really care about them too much. And I also feel like most of the teams end up looking very weak. And that's essentially what happened here. But this match, I will say, did accomplish its goal of making a team look very strong. One team looked strong at the expense of 5 others. That's basically what happened here. But you have a whole bunch of makeshift tag teams. You had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who were fighting for the women's IC title on Raw. They started against Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark. Lyra quickly pinned Shayna with the jackknife cover. Not looking good for Shayna and Zoey, just saying. Next up, we had Natalya and Maxine Dupree. They're basically enhancement talent at this point. Maxine attempted to put on the sharpshooter, but Bayley countered it with an inside cradle and pinned her. Natalya was upset, but Natalya's got her little outside projects coming up. She'll be fine. We had Katana Chance and Kayden Carter. They got in a little bit of offense, but they ultimately lost a relatively quick match. Lyra pinned Chance with the Nightwing. Then we had Michin and B-Fab out there. And with B-Fab out there, Michin might as well not even try. And sure enough, Bayley did defeat B-Fab with the Rose Plant. And then we had our final team, Piper, Niven, and Alba Fire of the Secret Hervis. Now, the problem with this, I mean, this makes sense here. You have the heel tag team, the face team going all the way, trying to make it to the end. I mean, you knew what was coming here just because they're not going to do heels versus heels at WrestleMania for the titles. But Piper and Alba did put up a good fight here. And this was a pretty solid match. This last tag match of this gauntlet was very good. Back and forth here. Several near falls. And Lyra showed off a lot of power bombing Piper not once but twice, once out of the corner and then once off the apron to the floor. And then Bayley took out Alba Fire with the Rose Plant, and then Lyra came off the top rope with her leg drop and got the 1-2-3 victory. It is official. Lyra and Bayley challenging Liv Morgan and Raquel for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. I like the fact that you had Bayley and Lyra run the gauntlet. It's just predictable, and the other teams obviously look weak in defeat, but you had to build up at least one team, right, for WrestleMania. I just wish, the rest of the year they would be building up these teams and building them up and making them credible. We had an announcement that Charlotte Flair was asked to go home. Coming off of last week's promo that went off the rails, there was viral video of Charlotte attacking Tiffany in the parking lot. And Charlotte was asked to go home because of this. More on that in a little bit. Whenever this happens, angle alert, Charlotte will most definitely not appear at the end of the show. Not going to happen. We had Damian Priest walking to the ring for a face-off confrontation with Drew McIntyre, but he was blindsided from behind. McIntyre attacked him. McIntyre had an eye patch on. He beat up Priest. Priest was helped to the back by officials, and then McIntyre cut a promo, said he was justified with everything he's done to Priest, and he said this match is 1 year in the making, and he also had some good news. He took off the eye patch. He said his eye is better. He's 100% cleared, and Priest is 100% screwed. Priest came back out there. They got into a fight. McIntyre got the best of him, went for the eyes of Priest, and then hit him with the steel steps, and then gave him the Future Shock DDT on the steps. Priest did a great job selling this. Priest, his eyes were bulging, and McIntyre took off Priest's necklace. They did confirm that this will be a I can't even say it. I'm so hyped. A Sin City street fight at WrestleMania. Good angle here. I liked it. Priest was awesome with his bulging eyes reacting to the Future Shock. I liked it. Solid segment here. Although I wonder if McIntyre should have kept the eye patch on for a little bit longer. But hey, he did sell it a little bit. I enjoyed this angle. Match should be pretty solid. Backstage, we had DIY complaining about how they got screwed by Motor City Machine Guns last week. Pretty Deadly had no interest. They walked off. And then Motor City Machine Guns showed up and said what happened to DIY was karma. And they did confirm, not at WrestleMania, but next week on SmackDown, Street Profits versus Motor City Machine Guns. They miss out on WrestleMania. Well, guess it's better than nothing, right? They get WrestleMania Smackdown in Las Vegas. Next up, we had Rey Fenix versus Berto, Berto, whatever you want to call him. Good match here between these two. Another nice showing for Fenix. He's got a cool entrance, and he did a lot of his flashy moves. Berto put in a good fight. Almost beat Fenix on multiple occasions. Did the sit-out powerbomb. Went for a moonsault, but Fenix got his knees up, and then Fenix hit the goodbye amigo kick, and then the Mexican muscle buster, and got the 1-2-3 victory. Afterwards, Santos Escobar came into the ring and shook hands with Fenix. The plot thickens. Will Rey Fenix join up with Santos Escobar? That remains to be seen. We had a backstage segment. Roxanne Perez, who apparently is still part of NXT. Why, I'm not sure, but she's backstage at SmackDown, and she wanted to speak to Nick Aldis because Tiffany Stratton can't handle the pressure of being champion. Tiffany then confronted her, and Nick Aldis set up a match, Tiffany versus Roxanne, for later on SmackDown. We had a really good CM Punk and Paul Heyman video package. WWE always does an exceptional job with these video packages. Well done. Builds up some intrigue. You know, surely nothing can go wrong with this Paul Heyman and CM Punk pairing, right? We had Zelina Vega with the crappy music, the SmackDown ripoff. She went up against Chelsea Green, who was all by herself. Chelsea was beating up Zelina on the outside of the ring, threw her back in the ring, yelled at the announcers, but then she missed the referee's count, and she was counted out. Zelina Vega won. Man, this was just a complete throwaway segment, and awkward, too. Like, you had Chelsea getting in the ring, and then the referee just stops the match. Very weird. And I don't care about Zelina versus Chelsea as a match. Oh, by the way, WWE was very, very cute here. So right before Zelina came out there, we got an Aleister Black vignette. Conveniently, right before Zelina Vega came out there. So yeah, Aleister Black is coming, and they even had the chair that was used in some of his vignettes several years ago. A lot of people think this will be the SmackDown after WrestleMania. Backstage, we had Santos Escobar. He said he was disappointed with Humberto. And then Andrade showed up and told Berto to keep his face up, be proud. But Berto told Andrade to mind his own business. Again, I don't know where this is all going. What is the direction with all these guys, Santos and Andrade, who barely gets on TV now? And where does Phoenix fit in with all this? Don't know. We had a video package for Naomi versus Jade Cargill. Well done here. They went back and forth. Naomi called Jade a snake, said now she's going to do what's best for her. Jade talked about how she's pissed off. She said she said Naomi is insecure. The glow is fading. Naomi's trying to stay relevant. And Jade warned that she's not a rookie anymore. And now she is Naomi's biggest threat. We had all these WWE titles, all the different title designs over the years brought into the ring. Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, came to the ring, cut a promo with all the championships in the ring. SmackDown was in Seattle, and independent promotion Defy is Seattle-based, and Cody gave them a shout-out, which was cool. I actually went to a Defy show when they were in Portland several years ago. Fun show. First time I saw MJF wrestle. But anyways, Cody talked about John Cena, of course, and the crowd was singing Cody Rhodes. the American wrestling fans are finally doing the Cody Rhodes sing-along. And Cody talked about how John Cena is trying to take away the legacy of the WWE title. Cody brought up all the great champions. He pointed to each championship and mentioned a champion. He brought up Eddie Guerrero while mentioning that Ruthless Aggression era title. And Cody even spun the spinner title, the John Cena spinner title, but made it clear that the fans are allowed to love somebody else. And Cody said that just like with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, he does his best work when his back is against the wall. And he said the WWE title is timeless and it's going to stay with all of us, Cody and the fans at WrestleMania. I liked the segment. I thought it was creative, bringing out all the titles, something I haven't seen, at least in a very long time. I can't even remember the last time they did a segment like this. Thumbs up for the creativity. I enjoyed it. Cody did a solid job here with this promo. We had a backstage promo with the Street Profits, and they were interrupted by Miz and Carmelo. Miz and Carmelo are putting them on notice. Makes me wonder if Street Profits will, in fact, retain the tag team titles. We had Tiffany Stratton versus Roxanne Perez. Good match here, back and forth. Roxanne did get in some offense. Roxanne hit an avalanche Russian leg sweep, and then she went for the pop rocks, but Tiffany countered. However, Roxanne was able to apply the crossface. Tiffany got out of the crossface and then picked up the victory with the prettiest moonsault. But then, surprise, surprise, Charlotte Flair attacks Tiffany Stratton, throws her over the announce table. Wade Barrett gets pissed off, and he warns that Charlotte is going to get herself fired if she keeps acting out. It was a solid segment, predictable, but well done. Charlotte gets the best of Tiffany here, which is interesting because some people are worried Charlotte's going to retain at WrestleMania, and Charlotte gets the upper hand here with WrestleMania just a week away. We do have one more SmackDown, though, so we'll have to see what happens. We had the announcement of the inductors for the WWE Hall of Fame, and this is really no surprise with any of these. Triple H being inducted by Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that's obvious. I'm all for it. Lex Luger being inducted by Diamond Dallas Page. No Sting. They couldn't get the job done. The deal made with Tony Khan. But DDP, to me, is a very worthy inductor considering the history with Lex Luger and helping Lex with his health in recent years. It's very fitting. It's a best case scenario if you can't get Sting. And we also had Undertaker announced from Michelle McCool. That's no surprise. Undertaker will put her over, add some star power to the event. And then Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, the immortal moment, will be inducted by CM Punk. Very fitting to me. CM Punk, a huge fan of both of those guys. Two of his favorites. I'm down for that. And they did finalize the lineups for each night of WrestleMania, which was already reported earlier. It was up on NoDQ.com. It was, in fact, legitimate. So, yes, we do have all the matches finalized. You can check that out on NoDQ.com. And we will be doing the predictions Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for night 1, and Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for night 2. We had our main event of the evening. Randy Orton and LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Basic main event. I mean, really not much to it. Randy Orton with the early momentum, doing some of his signature moves, and then Solo hit him with the Samoan drop. Then after the commercial break, LA Knight got the hot tag. Solo came in with the Samoan or the Solo spike. Then Randy Orton took out Tama Tonga with an RKO. Orton and Solo fought into the crowd, and that was the last we saw of either of them on the show. And we had LA Knight pinning Tonga with the BFT. No surprise here. And then after the match, Jacob Fatu with the post-match attack. Again, no surprise here. Fatu with the attack. Hit him with 3 moonsaults as SmackDown went off the air. And we had no Randy Orton announcement, which was very strange to me. Like, you open the show with Orton, you close with Orton, and then there's no match. I was very underwhelmed by the ending. Like, I was expecting something with Randy Orton, and they didn't even really set up Randy Orton versus Solo. I guess they could go with that, but I thought they were going to do some big angle to set up Randy Orton's match, and we got nothing at the end. Disappointing. I have to say the ending was disappointing. And now we don't have a match for Randy Orton to talk about on our predictions either. You know, I would like to have like a full week to speculate about a Randy Orton match, and I guess now we just have to wonder, is he even having a match at this point? Very strange. But all in all, it was a good SmackDown. I give it 6 out of 10. I honestly think the video packages were the most effective segments. Like the Naomi, Jade Cargill one was good. The CM Punk, Paul Heyman one was really good. Like, those definitely hyped me up for WrestleMania. And the rest of the show was fairly standard. We had a few announcements here and there. 6 out of 10. Good SmackDown. I was hoping for a little bit more with WrestleMania just a week away. And we do have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for next week. Maybe Omos comes back and wins that. You know, he was doing stuff in Japan, then he left Japan, and now he's not doing anything again. Maybe we see Omos return and win it. I don't know. I really don't care about the Dre. I hate to say it. To me, it's just a match to get people on the WrestleMania weekend show, and it is what it is. Doesn't really mean anything. And that was SmackDown. We got predictions coming up. Night 1 of 13 nights of live streaming. Number 1 is in the book. We got 13 total, 12 more to go, I should say. Well, we got 13 streams, but we got 12 more nights of live streaming. A lot to discuss. Predictions coming up next this weekend, so make sure you guys check it out. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And like I said, spread the word, tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a very long way. Have a great night, everyone. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you next time for more. Take care, everybody.